News Talk 820 WBAP now on FM at 93.3. My goodness, we're in hour number 2 already, which is awesome. Having a blast with you tonight on the Chris Crock Show. Okay, the Sands Casino begins pulling together. This is from the Dallas Morning News. Sands Casino begins pulling together North Texas city leaders in gambling push. And you know, at the heart of this, there's two things. I absolutely despise being told by rich folks what's going to happen to us when it's our dang community. We decide what goes on here. And I am very happy that, what's her name from the Sands, Adelstein, right? I think is her name. Anyway, she's a big Republican supporter of the Sam's. Is it Miriam is it Adelstein? I want to make sure I get it right. It might be Adel something or other. You got her name? Is it Adelstein, or am I getting it off? Her husband was a massive donor Republican. She is too. Adelson, thank you. Is it Miriam Adelson? Yeah, thanks. Anyways, I like her, seriously, and I like her husband, who her late husband, and they donate a lot and support Trump, and she supports Abbott, and they're pretty tight. And I appreciate everything she's done. I'm glad she owns the Mavericks, but I completely reject and rabidly against her making casino. And she's already decided, and a lot of her rich friends and a lot of the wealthy people here in the area, like Mark Cuban, have decided they're going to put a big fat casino and resort destination somewhere where it is. I don't care if it's in the difficult part of South Dallas or Southeast Dallas, the poor part, the rough parts. I'm against it, period. I'm against it. And I despise being told what's going to happen to me, whether I like it or not. I despise that. And I despise a fake movement to try to encourage us by, funded by a billionaire and other billionaires like Cuban and other billionaires coming together and go, how do we trick them into this? How do we fool them? And how do we shove that in? Go, it's just, hey, whoa, it's already happening. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, no, we got the poll. Look at the polls. Oh, look at this. We commissioned a study, which they have in here. Oh, yeah, we've already, here, look. No. My answer is already no, and it's something else, but I can't say it. And just, there's nothing more offensive than that. Number two, and most importantly, actually, number one is, it is a poor tax. It is not a panacea. It is the opposite. You will never get what they promise you out of it. It's a bottomless pit that sells your soul. It's like deciding to prostitute your wife or your husband so that you can get the money you want so you can be flush. And I'm telling you, don't sell your soul to get money. And you are selling out your community. And I'm telling you why. Funny enough, it's not my faith. It is just me as an individual. And I saw it in Illinois. And I saw it when I was old enough to go to a casino. The first thing I did, went to a casino, and I saw this guy with a half-smoked cigarette tucked behind his ear gambling. That's gambling. If you can't afford to smoke that cigarette halfway and flip it or put it out and just walk away from it, you can't afford to gamble. That's who's there. And that's who they're going to drain. And those people are going to get enriched more and more, because the house never loses overall, by poor folk right here. And prostitution skyrockets. And crime around the casino skyrockets. Two separate studies. Don't believe me, but believe the United States Department of Justice did a study, and believe the Connecticut, Liberal Democrat Connecticut House that commissioned a study, and both found around the casinos, two separate casinos in two separate states, high crime. Because to get that money that you spend on it, you've lost on it, to keep going, you steal. And around that whole thing, you get prostitutes. It's a cycle. Cars get broken into, cars get stolen, and money needs to be made to go gamble. And drugs are had, and drugs are sold to make money to go gamble. It is bad, 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 and nobody wants this. They are making us want this. Now, you probably want it. You want to discuss it with me, and that's totally fine. And that's why we want to do this right now. Because I know you're not bought and paid for. I'm not bought and paid for yet. Just kidding. All right, 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. Chime in right now. Lines wide open. Question is, how organic do you think this sudden movement is? Whoa, this sudden movement. Whoa, you feeling a little tingle down there? Whoa, I got a little wind, a fresh wind blow up my skirt there. Whoa, what was that? Oh, it's pleasant. Is that the air conditioning? No, it's the movement for gambling. How organic is this sudden movement to shove gambling down our throats, in your opinion? It feels like wealthy people want to force us to spend our money gambling and give it to them. I don't want it. Do you want it? 800-288-WBAP is our number, 800-288-9227. How organic do you think this sudden movement to push gambling down our throats in the past couple of years, how organic is that to you? How real is it? And do you want it? 800-288-WBAP, 3 lines open now, 800-288-9227. And here's the cities right now that are in for meeting, and they're not saying they're for it. Dallas, Fort Worth, these are the leaders that the Senior Vice President of Government Relations for the Sands says they sent lobbyists to speak with Dallas, Fort Worth, Irving, Arlington, Farmers Branch, and visit Dallas at a Tuesday meeting in Hearst assembled by the North Texas Commission and the Texas Association of Business. That happened today, apparently. The North Texas Commission and Vegas Sands, Dallas Morning News, did not respond, they say, to interview requests. I'm shocked. They don't want to talk to the paper. They don't want to answer questions. They just want to tell us that we want gambling. I saw Illinois sell their souls. I go back every year. There's weed dispensaries and there's casinos all over, and they're still broke. No. Oliver, Fort Worth, you are on WBAP. What do you got?
Yes, thank you. A gentleman mentioned he was from the Oklahoma area, Durant, and what a problem they had
Choctaw.
up there. It's not luxury, right?
I didn't hear that gentleman. I don't know what you're talking about from where, but I'd love to hear what he said if that was something that moved you.
Right. Well, the thing he moved me was that the crime, and he said the money wasn't his particular tribe, because it wouldn't be that involved.
Where did you hear this, though? You said a gentleman. Where was this on there?
It was on
somewhere in the news?
Some state radio station earlier today.
Got it. Okay, go ahead.
I forget which one.
Go ahead.
But we don't need that. We've got enough crime here, and people save and invest their money right according to what the Bible says. They'll make it.
Well, and again,
no billionaires telling us what to do.
And again, regardless of my faith, and obviously there's nothing wrong with it informing your decision, or steering it. But I'm just saying, for me personally, it has nothing to do with my faith. It has everything to do with me not wanting crime, and it's an endless, bottomless pit, and it does nothing to help the community. And all it does is ruin. It's a tax on the poor. And you know what? You want to do it. It's so close. Choctaw and the others are all over the place advertising. God bless them. Do what they want. I love our tribes. I do say that not to kiss rump on it, but actually, conservative tribes are incredible. I accidentally, not knowing, stayed at a resort in, where is that? In New Mexico, one of the most beautiful, just below Angel Fire, whatever it is. Anyways, the point is Santa Fe. And that tribe is a conservative tribe, and you can smoke, drink, and have your concealed carry-on while you're gambling. Yes, that's freedom! So, and I asked the place when I was there. I didn't go to gamble. I didn't know they gambled there, and I didn't know they were smoking everywhere, but it was what it was. And it was like one of the national chain places and such. Anyways, I said, this must be a conservative tribe. She said, yes, they are. I'm like, yeah! Anyways, God bless them. And unfortunately, they end up not doing too much for the tribes, in my opinion, either. God help and God bless the Native American people. So anyways, there you go. Appreciate you, brother. Okay, let's go to Steve. We don't have time for Steve? No? Oh, we do? Okay, one more. Steve in Brown, Texas. Steve, hello. What do you got on WBAP?
Steve in Carrollton, Texas. Hey, Chris, again, talked to you last night about another subject. I get disgusted every time I think about this casino stuff or whenever it comes back up, but we knew it was coming. I want to remind you that every office in Texas, every major political office is run by Republicans. Republicans have been, and I am a Republican, a conservative Republican, by the way. Republicans have been, unfortunately, for the past few cycles, trying to get enough seats in the Senate to be able to push this thing across the finish line.
Are you kidding me?
Lieutenant Governor.
That's a disgrace. Dan Patrick won't let it happen, and I thank God for that, seriously.
No, sir. Dan Patrick is behind this.
What?
Dan Patrick is 100% behind this.
I've heard him say it'll never happen while I'm here. Let me just finish this off real fast. I want to hear what you have to say. I want to hear what you have to say, and trust me, I'm not going to cut you up, but I want to ask you a question. I want to say something.
Go for it.
I want to read the Dallas Morning News. The latest today on this, or yesterday into today, Texas Lieutenant Governor Patrick has told the Dallas Morning News the pro-gambling legislation lacks the support of Senate Republicans, and the Texas Republican Party platform, approved earlier this year, says we oppose any expansion of gambling, including legalized casino gambling. He says, based on what happened last session, I believe it's generally understood that until there's real movement in the Senate next session, meaning the Senate actually taking up and considering the issue, there's likely not to get any meaningful action on it in the House, said Jeff Leach out of Allen. Okay, so go ahead. You think that you're telling me that in fact it is Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick who I thought always and has been extremely open about being against it. You're saying he's not. Go ahead.
He has been. Historically, he has been. And the reason he has been is because he didn't have enough senators to go along with it. This last cycle, Lieutenant Dan made it his business.
Lieutenant Dan.
To the Senate. Lieutenant Dan made it his business to get people elected to the Senate to allow him to get into a position to where they could allow and would allow casino gambling. You look at the guy that won. Never mind.
He's never said that publicly. He's never said that publicly, though, right?
He has never said that publicly.
Nor has he hinted publicly, because I've heard nothing but the opposite. Go ahead.
At the end of that speech that you just read, that statement that you just read, he said, the reason we haven't done anything is because there's been no conversation, no desire. There's never been any desire. However, the money is deep. The pockets are deep. And unfortunately, he has become, Lieutenant Dan used to be a absolutely wonderful.
I will reach out to some friends and get him on, and I will directly ask him.
He'll never admit it. He'll never admit
That's
it.
Fine.
You won't hear about it until after November, after these guys are sworn in, after the general.
Okay, what is your evidence that Lieutenant Dan Patrick is Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick is actively seeking to do this? What is your evidence? Provide some evidence. Go.
Brent Hagenbuch. Brent Hagenbuch is the new, will be, assuming he beats the Democrat, it will be the new senator in the North Denton area of Texas.
Okay.
Brent Hagenbuch is the biggest loser in the country. He's the worst example of a conservative Republican. Dan Patrick spent everything he had.
Why?
Everybody in Texas, every government official in Texas was out favoring Brent Hagenbuch, who is the biggest person, the worst thing you would ever want to see.
Just
why in the world? Well, because he's the first person who would vote to do what? To allow casino gambling.
Has he said that publicly?
Against him wouldn't allow it.
Has he said that publicly?
He has said that publicly.
Okay, got it. Got to roll.
No question.
Love your calls. Keep it up, brother. From Brown, Texas. I'm just kidding. From Carrollton. I don't know where that came from. It says Steve, Brown. I don't know what happened. I'm going to give my producer, Garrett, 5 demerits. Go ahead, sir. Thank you. All right, talk to you.
Thanks. Bye.
Take care. Hey, you want to gamble? It's no problem. I'm not here to tell you can't gamble. I occasionally do. It's very rare. But if I go to Vegas, I'll do $100 for over 2-3 days. I don't do much. I've done it when I surprisingly had that casino. I didn't even know there was one. We went down twice and spent maybe $50 each time. But that's it. I mean, if you lose it, you lose it. You use it like a spending thing. You're going to go see a movie. It's a budgeted thing. That's it. You're going to lose it. Plan on it. If you win, great. All right. 800-288-WBAP. Do you want gambling? Do you want this it shoved into our place, and do you feel like it's being shoved in? Do you support it? 800-288-WBAP is our number. Continuing on this, next on the Chris Crock Show, I'm going to tell you what it would add, supposedly, the numbers and all that stuff next. Chris Crock Show, News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. A little bit more here. The Sands Casino is trying to get together these cities and push them to say yes. Arlington, Irving, Dallas, Farmers Branch, they are also in attendance along with some other local cities, Dallas, Fort Worth, Irving, Arlington, Farmers Branch. They all visit Dallas today to meet in Hearst with the North Texas Commission and the Texas Association of Business to try to push gambling through. And Sands said it predicts that if Texas legalizes gambling, which it over my dead body will. Hopefully it never will happen. I'm telling you, you're selling your soul for nothing. The state could add $13 billion to its GDP and 70,000 permanent jobs and 185,000 construction jobs. Yeah, and then you'll hear commercials every 5 minutes. If you or a loved one has a gambling problem, call the blah, 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 blah. Don't freaking do it. You're selling your soul like Illinois. Okay, we're going to start with... Wait, which one? Brian in Canton. Brian, hello,
hey, how you
WBAP.
Doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. This is my third time calling you.
Well, welcome. I got nothing for you but a thank you.
Very well.
And a free token at the casino when it opens.
Hey,
one free token.
I'll take it.
All right, it's worth 5 cents. Yes, sir.
All right. I support casinos in the state 100%. And whether you realize it or not, there's already legal poker halls all over in Dallas and Canton and all that.
I know.
So the only thing that's different is the size of an actual casino. That's the only thing different.
So you can put 10 grand down on the poker in Texas legally, or 100 grand down?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right. It doesn't sound like that's accurate, but
well,
can you put $1 million down?
What they do is they...
can you go and put $1 million down?
If I had that kind of cash, I'm sure I could.
That's legal.
Yes.
I'm very doubtful, but okay. All right, got it. So you're for it. You don't care about the increase in crime documented by the federal Justice Department, U.S. Justice Department, and by the legislature in what do you call it? In
the crime and the drugs
Connecticut.
are already there.
No, but it increases it exponentially. It's done by federal Justice Department study in the Foxborough one and in Connecticut as well, by their legislature. So you want more crime? You got it. You're okay with an increase in crime?
I am perfectly okay with the gambling.
No, I didn't ask you that. I said, are you okay with prostitution and crime increasing?
I have no problem with that.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for being honest about selling your soul, selling the soul of this state and destroying our local area and putting a tax on poor people. That's your decision. I'm grateful for your honesty. I don't want to punish myself. I don't like hurting myself or others, and I don't want to sell my soul or prostitute myself to make money. So, but your honesty is awesome. Tommy and Crescent, you're coming up next on the Chris Crock Show on News Talk 820 WBAP, now on FM at 93.3. And then the mainstream media goes nuts over Elon Musk posting a, quote, AI fake Kamala ad. You got to hear this. I'm going to play it for you. Woo-hoo-hoo! And all the censorship as well. Trump never got assassinated if you're on Google or Facebook. All that next. News Talk 820 WBAP, and now on FM at 93.3. So, by the way, our last caller who said that poker houses are legal, and I said, can you bet 10 grand at it? He said, yes. Can you bet $1 million? Yes. Well, I looked it up on I did some quick research. Austin American Statesman says, and then we're going to go to your call, Tommy and Crescent, and I'm asking you this. The Las Vegas Sands has had a meeting today with North Texas Commission and North Texas Business Commission, wherever business leaders, and a lot of our local cities, Dallas, Fort Worth, Irving, Arlington, Farmers Branch, and Hearst. They met in Hearst Tuesday at a meeting, and they're trying to push this thing as if it's a foregone conclusion. Oh, we'll get all these taxes, all this money. Number one, it increases crime, according to two separate studies that I could find in 10 minutes. I read through them extensively, but the Democrat-controlled House, they commissioned a study to see what crime levels were at one of their local big gambling casinos, and what the results have been. And they found a total increase in crime across the board around the casino and in that whole area. Number two, there was a separate federal study about a separate casino that the Department of Justice did, and it totally verified the same thing. Yes, crime went up in near the casino, but most importantly, look, I'm from Illinois, and I've seen that state sell its soul for weed, but first for gambling, and it did nothing. It is a bottomless pit, and then you'll have casinos all over the place. Even if you only have, 3 in your county, in Illinois, like in Cook County, in Metro Chicago, there's about 8 collar counties or whatever, Anyways, I've lived in, or my parents have lived in 3 or 4 of them over the years, and they're everywhere, and it's a disgrace, and no one's happy and set. It's a joke. And now you have weed places all over the place too. That'll be next. I don't want to sell my soul, and I don't want to increase crime. And we literally, I don't care that we have a casino an hour north of us. If you want to go, go. I haven't gone yet. One day I will, probably. I've been here for almost 15 years. One day I will go, probably. But I want to go see like a concert and do a little gambling one night when there's a good concert. They have good ones there sometimes. Or Jerry Seinfeld. What is the deal with peanut butter? There's no peanuts and there's no butter. Martin Lawrence is coming. I would love to see Martin Lawrence. Remember that show? My favorite one, and we saw it again, where Gino, remember his wife Gina, and the baby comes out, and it goes, it's a mad whoosh, and it comes flying across the room, and he catches it. Martin's the best. Even when that story came out that he was all naked in downtown LA running around, remember that? Don't tase me, bro. I don't know what that was all about. He's losing his you-know-what, but I love that guy. I wish him all the best. Okay. No, thank you. Tommy in Crescent, how about you? How organic does this sudden movement to shove gambling down your throat feel to you, and do you want it? Tommy, you're on WBAP. What's up?
It is. I am from Las Vegas, and gambling is a 100% family destroyer. It's not just the rise in crime. I mean, out in Las Vegas, it is proven that not even half of the crime that happens is not reported on TV or on the newspapers.
Too much, right?
It is, but it's too much. I mean, it's just unbelievable. But the human cost, people around me for the past 10 years that I worked down there, people there working hourly, have families. It's a destroyer. It is an absolute destroyer. I've seen so many families getting broken up. It's no different than doing meth. It's no different. It has the same lingering effects after you do what you do.
I know very little about the science of it, but I believe from my rudimentary studies and reading over the years, which is I'm not even an expert. I'm not even a neophyte. I'm a neophyte, like looking at this stuff. But I would believe it's the same dopamine release. The high you get, the natural high you get, like a rat, you want to push the cocaine instead of the water or the food, because it's such a reward pleasure thing with the brain. But then, of course, then you get addicted to this kind of a thing, and you lose. The house always wins in the end, and you lose badly.
Always. I mean, it's where just put it this way. I worked inside the casinos, and
really?
Every Friday.
What kind of work did you do with it? If you don't mind, I'm not trying to get specific.
Marketing.
Huh? Marketing?
No, marketing. Yeah, I was in marketing. And every Friday, there is a line, 50, 60, 100 deep, of people waiting in line so they can cash their check at the casino.
You mean their paycheck?
Yep.
That's so
every
sad.
Every Friday. So it is a terrible, terrible thing for any state to go through. But the human cost, it's beyond any type of money that would be received from any stupid taxes or whatever they're trying to sell it as.
How long did you live in Vegas?
10 years.
Where are you from originally?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
No worries.
But I was raised in California, though.
Okay, so you've lived all over. Okay, now, you just reminded me of something in listening to you. And there was a story that somebody told. It was something in our media or something, and it really struck me. And it's an amazing little story. It's very short, but it hits me so hard, and I think it's very apropos after what you just said. And there was somebody when the lottery was huge recently, I don't know, 5 years ago or whenever last time we had a massive one and people were going there. There was a woman who, I think it was one of my callers that told the story. It was one of the places where people go and buy lotto tickets, and she was in line, and her kid was naked except for a diaper, little baby. And he had snot all over his faces, and he was dirty, and clearly this mother was not doing the best job at all of taking care of this boy. And she was in line in this gas station, and she was buying lottery tickets. And she clearly was poor and couldn't afford to be doing this. And then she's got this boy. And so I compare this, because it is a poor tax. The most people that are giving the money into this are poor, that are getting, where you win. When you win, the poor people are the ones that are paying for most of this. It's very, very true. And don't believe me, look it up yourself and look at the studies. But the thing is this. It's like this. and I ask this to people from time to time on the air when we talk about stuff like this, would you, if you knew that winning the lottery, I've asked listeners this and some have been honest and said yes, I'm like, okay, if you had to go to that woman and say, hi, ma'am, you owe me because I won, you owe me, 50, your share is $50. And could you go take that money from her to collect your winnings? You know what I mean? Your $1 million or whatever it would be. Could you go to the people that actually fund this and tell them and collect the money from them? If you went to their house, if you went to their them in line with their kid, and you went to them and you saw who you were taking money from, could you actually do it? And
that's
I think
a deep dive there.
Yeah,
looking at it.
If you live in a house like most of us do, that's between $350,000 and $800,000. Could you go to somebody who lives in an apartment that is poor, that earns $12, $15, $18 an hour, and is single with kids? Could you take that money from them? Maybe you could. And that's kind of what's going on. Tommy, thanks for your great call, my man. And I'm glad you're here. How long you been here? I think I remember one of your calls. You lived next to a $1 million place, and it was somebody that crashed the place next door because it was a rental place, or what do you call it, short-term rental? You are the best.
I finally arrived in 2009 in the
I feel like
Texas.
I'm talking to Vince Vaughn or the other guy in that married guy's crashing the wedding movie. That's where I feel like you are in a good way. I love that voice. All right, brother, take care. Keep calling.
Yes, sir.
All right, I just love that guy. I love that voice. He sounds like one of the guys from like Vince Vaughn or the other guy or something, one of those funny, wedding crasher movies or something. Great guy. I vouch for Tommy personally. I've never met him, but I can vouch for him personally. He has great stories when he calls in. All right, 800. By the way, I forgot to ask him, but Vegas is a very, very, very. One of my friends in radio who actually works in town, but when we work together, he was at Vegas Radio. He said you would be at the time. He mentored me for years, and he said I was in Madison, Wisconsin when he was in Vegas at the time before we both ended up here. And I said to him, he told me, he goes, you would be surprised. This is a very conservative town. He says it's the people who live here are conservative. This is a very conservative town. Now, you have a very liberal Democrat city because it's the major metropolitan area and because of the unions, the culinary unions, the casino unions, and this and that. But it is not a solid Democrat blue state. As you know, especially right now, Trump, at least with Biden, was slamming it, and he may be able to beat Kamala there. He may not. We'll see. All right. I want to get into the AI Kamala. You're going to have a real laugh at the AI Kamala stuff. I'll take Rich's call too from Hamilton, Ontario, calling in on this. This will be very interesting on gambling, and then we'll get to the AI with cackling Kamala in this amazing, awesome, supposedly AI video that is being attacked that Musk tweeted out. It's hysterical, and then also the censorship on Facebook and Google of the. Trump assassination is disgusting, and searching for Trump news versus Kamala news, it's vile. It's all Kamala wins, Trump loses. When you search for Trump, it says Kamala. It's that's your freaking Google. They hate us. They hate us. They want to rig this election. They hate Orange Man. They hate us. I'm just serious. It is what it is. 800-288-WBAP, 800-288-9227. I don't hate you. I love you. Hey, one thing I wanted to play that just happened in the past hour, Venezuela is amazing tonight. Just a quick clip of what's going on over there. You have tens and tens of thousands of people that have taken the streets and are demanding Nicolas Maduro step down. And the opponent that really was put in, Ms. Machado, I believe, she is speaking down there. Let me just play you like 20 seconds. It's just amazing to watch this unfold. I mean, there's probably 50, 100,000 people here. I'm not kidding you. It's on my Twitter feed, at Chris Crock Show, CHRISKROK. It's unbelievable. It's beautiful because that's freedom. They're fighting for freedom. You understand that? Isn't that amazing? They're fighting for their own very freedom. I'm proud of them, and I'm happy to see that. And I wish them nothing but the best, and to keep fighting. Also, Attorney General Ken Paxton, breaking news in the past hour. Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled in Texas' favor. This is on the illegal invasion. Finding the federal district court abused its discretion when it ordered Texas to remove the buoys floating in the Rio Grande that prevents illegals from attempting to dangerous river crossings, in America illegally. The buoys can remain in the river. I will continue to defend Texas' right to protect its border from illegal immigration. that he said. This was just put out today, yeah, at 8:12 p.m., okay? Rich in Hamilton wants to comment on the legalized gambling. By the way, poker rooms, according to the Austin American Statesman, it's very sketchy whether it's legal or not. And Texas law prohibits most forms of gambling, the Statesman says. It's a big paper in Austin, just so you know. It's what came up in the first couple stories I looked up. Private businesses operating gambling through a legal loophole. Poker rooms charge a monthly membership, hourly fee for members. They pay as soon as they enter the club. House is not allowed to take any cut, not allowed to make any money other than membership fees. Dealers cannot earn tips. Clubs will get shut down if they're making any money on the tournament. In fact, here's a bunch of poker rooms that no longer are in business or temporarily closed. After law enforcement issued sanctions, they can go after you. Just so you understand. So there's no legalized gambling in this state. CJ's Card Club in Dallas, permanently closed. Top Shelf Poker Room in East Texas City of Flint, permanently closed. Lucky's Card Room in Fort Worth, temporary closed. Shuffle 12 in Dallas, 214, temporarily closed. This story was, I don't know exactly the date. It didn't show up on this part where I hit the print mode so I could just take the pictures out. But also kind of nonprofits. Anyways, nonprofits don't matter to me. Punishment for operating a poker club illegally. They've not been legalized by any constitutional amendment or statewide referendum, are generally allowed, according to somebody who helped represent a poker house. Punishment can vary, though. In the future, it's anticipated Texas prosecutors, local agencies tempted by lucrative seizure opportunities will once again attempt to shut down local gambling clubs. See, so they can come after you and shut you down. Maybe they will win, maybe they won't. Certainly such efforts won't cease in Harris County, as the district attorney made clear such establishments are illegal. So there you go. The DA for Harris County says they're illegal. Moreover, club owners are employees of Prime Social and the Post Oak clubs are not in the clear, as their cases were referred to by the FBI for consideration. So not necessarily legal, but not necessarily legal. That's what I got. Rich Hamilton, you're on WBAP. Welcome.
Hey, Chris. First-time caller.
Hold on. You got a special. You're a specialist. Hold on. You got a special sound effect for you. Hold on. This is for you, my friend, for being a first-time caller. Go ahead.
This is the one topic I had to weigh in on.
So you're a first-time caller and a first-time listener.
No. Listen for a long time.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. First time.
This is the first time I've had to call in to weigh in.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the losing at the casino that hooks you. That, like, when you lose everything, like every fiber of your being is screaming, and it's that feeling that there are people in your audience that know what I'm talking about, but I can't describe it more than, like, it's the losing. Honest to God, it's the losing that gets you hooked into it.
Is this like chasing the high for drugs?
I wouldn't know.
Well, listen, because have you heard about this? Like heroin, yeah, but like heroin and meth and stuff. Once you go down, you'll never get that same initial high, is what I've heard. I've never done any of them, but you chase it. After that, you always go.
No, God willing, neither will I.
I'm just saying about the gambling, but this is fascinating, brother. Yeah. Are you an addict?
I think I've kicked it. It's been probably 20 years since I've gambled seriously. Casinos were in Ontario 26 years ago, I think.
Oh, that's right. You're in Hamilton, Ontario.
Maybe?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and Niagara Falls, everybody knows where that is. Yeah. That's, tourist capital.
Yes.
You got to go there. You got to gamble.
Yes.
And like I said, like when you lose everything, your car payment, your rent, that's when you walk out of there. And it's just like the whole world is vibrating.
What is your advice to us then in Texas? Or go ahead more. Go ahead.
Don't. It doesn't bring anything good to your community.
And so that's what you're saying. That's it. Did you have more, though? I don't want to cut you off. I'm sorry if I jumped in there because you're flowing.
I really don't know if I fully formed my statement, but it's...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's not the winning that brings people back. It's actually, I think it's the losing. It's that misery.
Why?
Well, you look at the commercials and everybody's excited to be in there, but the reality is, unless people have won some small amounts or are getting something free comped, nobody's smiling anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
The people treat the tables like a job, worse than a job. If they concentrated like that at work, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be in that position. And it's just, nobody walks out of there happy. Ever.
Thank you for your wonderful call, Rich. Please keep it up, my friend. And I'm glad you appear to have kicked it. And remember, you're always one step away from going back, aren't you? Seriously, I'm not being rude to you. I'm just talking to you.
No, I've got too much to lose now to go back.
You married? You got kids?
You bet.
Wonderful. That means everything to me. I don't care anything else. That means everything to me, brother. Take care, okay? God bless you in Hamilton. Okay? Yep. Come on there now, okay? Yeah, hey there. Oh, he already left. I was trying to have fun. Okay, he's like, oh, screw that guy. I'm not going to call him again. I'm going to go fishing now and catch a 5-pounder.